Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So, what I want to do is it's summertime now, and I want to get my building finished. So, what I got left to do is I want to get the rest of my homemade quarter round and trim pieces on around my door, and then I have a little over on this gambrel, and that's going to be a little tricky with the angles. Not too bad. And what I want to do after that is I'd like to get this all cleaned out. And I'd like to start, actually doing stuff in here and kind of like being able to sleep in it. So that is my plan. It's summertime, and I want to also do a floor. That's my project after that, is do a floor, and then I want to clean everything out of here, and I want to reorganize and get it pretty cool in here. I really don't have much left to do other than that, and then I have to run a board around where my board seamed over my loft. So, just a little bit of trim left to do. I think maybe some back in there as well, but I got all the quarter round already made. If you remember, I think I did a short on it. I made homemade quarter round and trim. So, I got my chops out. We're going to get cutting, and we're going to get installing and make it look nice and pretty in here. Stay tuned. So I got my miter saw out, and I got that piece of quarter round cut for over top of the door. I wanted to do a little off camera with the fail things again. And here's my 18 gauge brad nailer. Can shoot up to 2-inch nails. I believe I only have like 1.5 nails in it right now. But yeah, we're gonna put this piece up, and I want to show you it. Okay, so here's what I did. What's nice about a coping saw is that you can cope the back of it. So when you have tricky things like this corner here, and you want to slide the piece and go over top of it, that's nice to use. But what I did is I just cut the back of it with my miter saw, and then I had to cut the face of it a little bit, so to kind of get that contour line to line up. So when I slide it in, it's a pretty tight seam, which looks pretty good. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did insulate around this door earlier to get prepared for this, so there's no air or any holes in that, so it's windproof. And over here I just did the same thing on this end, so it should fit nice and tight. It looked good. There we go, that seals off the top. And then the ends are pretty good. And I'll just come back with some wood putty and cover them little nail heads. That's why I'm using the brad nailer. It's a pretty small nail head. Now that I got my top quarter round on, what I want to do is I want to run my 1x2 trim around here, leaving room between the hinge and the trim, so that way the door won't interfere with it. So what I'm doing here is I cut a 1/2-inch little strip, and that'll line up my pine flush across here, so I'll have something to nail onto, and it'll look nice and have a nice edge here. And I'm just going to nail it on, leaving a little gap between this and the hinge. And I'm going to do that all the way down. I pushed it all the way to the top. I'll just put a few nails in it. Don't need too many here. And then once you put your 1x2 on, I'm going to sand it, obviously, because it's a little rough here, and it's got words and stuff on it. You know how they like to do that. Okay, so that's what I did on this side. I'm going to do the same to the other side, and I just nailed it on. So we have about a little over 1/8, maybe 3/16 reveal all the way down. I sanded it off before I installed, and it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to do the same to the side now. Okay, how does that look? So I got this trimmed off now. Got that side on. Looks pretty nice. Now I left my nails about 6 or 8 inches up in the air there. That way I can plan ahead, and I'm going to have to use my oscillating tool. Once I figure out the thickness of what flooring I'm putting down and what material, then I can cut that, and then I'll install my baseboard. Okay, so what I just did is I actually took out them old Ryobi cabinets, and the reason for that is they're nice for my workshop, and they'll go on the other building. Okay, so I ended up actually doing the boring stuff off camera, all the trim. So I'm cleaning my tiny house out here, and I'm getting prepared to start the polyurethane stain in one, and I'm going to be coating the entire building in this. Got all my trim on. I took all the outlet covers off, and what I'm doing is I am putting clear satin, oil-based satin polyurethane, and it dries a little yellowish, kind of like that window down there. I sanded this plywood up here, sanded all the marks and dirt and stuff off of it, and what I've decided is that I'm actually just gonna poly stain this, and instead of doing the flooring up here, vinyl plank, I'm gonna be doing vinyl plank flooring downstairs. But basically what I'm doing is I'm getting this building ready to be finished so I can, move out here and do some things. I ordered a couple goodies online. Stay tuned for that. And we're going to get this building finished up. Okay, here I am getting started in the loft using a paintbrush, and I end up using a roller later on because I learned what works best. Getting in them cracks, getting it. And as you can see, it goes on a little clear, but it does dry yellow. There, you can kind of see it better. See how it brings out the grain of the wood a little better. Kind of looks pretty. I like it. Alright guys, I'm loading up materials here at Lowe's. It's a late night. We got 3 half-inch 4x8 sheets of this Polypro half-inch foam board that I'm going to be putting underneath my flooring, which I also got. I got Style Selection 6mm 3-foot tawny oak, 6 boxes of that. Alright, so this will be a nice rigid underlayment under my floor. The R value is around 3 or so for this with the foil face, and the total, I believe, of all of this came around just over $300, so kind of affordable, especially for this small of a building. Alright, next day here, I got the building cleaned out, all vacuum sweep, and it's time to lay some foam down. We're going to get the foam in here, get it installed, put the tape on it, get some insulation under the floor. Well, I was going to start on the floor, but I ordered a new can of polyurethane stain in one. I don't know if it's really a stain, but it kind of turned yellow, as you can see the difference from here and there. I have this end wall to do and a little portion of the side wall on either side to do, and I'd like to do that before I put my floor down. And I got this. They must have changed their branding, but this is the same stuff as I had before. Pour this out, mix it up, and then apply it, and then we'll put our floor down. Alright, so I just finished the poly on here. So the whole building has polys on it. And so now what I'm going to do is I got my foam here. I got my flooring. And I got the oscillating tool here. So I'm just going to come around, and I ran my quarter round and door trim and my other door trim down to the floor because I didn't know what height to cut it. So now I'm just going to come in like this, and then I'm going to make a cut across here, and cut them all, so that way my flooring and my underlayment will slide right underneath and it'll look good. Okay, so that's what I did. Went all the way around. Cut my pieces of trim to the correct height. Now I'm ready to install the foam board. Okay, I got the foam board all the way down. Used that old stuff Dad had, so I only had to buy 3 sheets, saving money when I can, And now I'm just going to come over and tape all these seams up. Alright, here's what I got now. It's all taped, all installed. Now I can start planning out for my flooring. I want to run the boards this way, and the floor joists run this way, so I don't know. I like the looks of the tawny oak. I think I put it right up to the pine, and it kind of gives a little bit of a contrast. It actually kind of brings out the nuts in the boards because it's more of a brown. But I'm gonna cool off under this fan a minute. It's pretty hot out today. And then I'll get back to work and maybe we can put some flooring down. Alright, this is my floor design. As you can see, well, you can't really see, but what I'm gonna have to do is start with an 8-inch piece, run my entire length of the building, row across. I'll have a 33-inch excess piece that I can therefore use as my 4th row piece down at the left end. So I'll be cutting all the left ends here. Then I'll start with my 2nd row with a 16-inch piece, have a 24.5-inch piece left over, which then I can use in the 3rd row as my starting piece, cut the left side. Using this way, I'll have the least amount of waste possible, and I can have my seams not line up, and it ought to be good. This is, I guess, the way I'll have to do it. This is in segments of 8 inches apart from each other. So 8 inches, that's not too bad from one another. So I'll get this laid out on the floor and start. So I found some shims. I just threw them in there. But what I did is I cut my 32 starter, went with my 36s. These are 3-foot pieces instead of 4s like they usually are. But I ended with an 8-inch piece. And the remainder I'm going to be using for the 2nd row. And what you want to make sure on when you're doing these is they're exactly the same. As you can see here, if you get down close here, the tongue is out farther than this tongue, and it's going to screw everything up. So I'm going to go grab my crap block, or my cutoff block, and it's not usable anymore, and I'm just going to put this and this one, like so. Grab your hammer, give it a love tap, and you're going to get it exact like that. Feel it. Once you can't feel the jut out anymore, it's perfect. Do that, and you want to get your starting row nice as possible when you're starting out here. So the 2nd row on a 24. So you don't measure out here. You measure just the wood. So 24. I made my mark. I'm just using a T-square and a utility knife. Usually we get some funky floors, so we're usually just cutting with the jigsaw. And then once you score it a couple times, you lift it up, you're going to pop it back like that, just like drywall, bend it over, cut the underlayment, and flip her over. That could be another pounding block. And then this is all the left side cuts. So this is going to go under the door trim right here, slide it under. Actually, we're going to do this first, get it in the groove, and then we're going to get our piece and we're going to tap it in under the door like so. Get our hammer here. Hit it down until we're loving it. Beautiful. Alright, so when you're doing flooring, I recommend having some type of vacuum or broom with you, because there can be fine particles that can lift your flooring up, such as the styrofoam pieces. You don't want anything in the groove or in the channel there, so sweep that out, get it nice and clean, and then we're going to go on to our next piece. Our next piece is just a full board. Starting our 2nd row. Put in the end joint first, like so. Get it down onto that tongue, and I'm going to lift it up on a slight angle, and I'm going to tap it in with my tapping block and my hammer here. And I'll come down the end of the board, lift it up, and tap it in. And I'll come down here. We want a nice tight seam all the way down the board. Alright, so we did a little bit of adjustment there, and we got it in. It had a little bit of a dish in it like that, so you want to make sure it lays nice and flat so you know what's in, and you feel across it, and you feel it's a nice tight seam. When it feels flat, it's in. So I'm just going to keep going down like that, and that's how I'm going to do it, and making sure to line up my tongues every time, and keep it clean, and this should work good. The second row about in. The seams are going in a little tricky, but once you get them nice and flat, they look pretty good. So I'm cutting my last piece for my second row here. It's going in better now. I'm getting the hang of it. And then see it just, when it goes down flat, you know it's done. And feel it. The seams are nice and tight. I like the lights and darks. Score it a few times and it should break. That. Pop it like that. Fold it back like so. Cut across the back. It's got that pre-attached back on it. And then put it in like so. Tongue to the groove. Nice and flat, clean off. You don't want any junk under the surface here. Then when you do your full piece, just go like this. Do this edge first. This in like so. And then you get your little hammer and tapping block. Let's hold it up on like about a 15-degree or so angle. Make sure that side stays in. Do this side first. Tongue into the groove. Make sure it's straight so you're not hurting your tongue on your next piece. Make sure it feels good. Now get this in like so. Middle, in. Lays flat, it's nice and rough. Make sure you check everything's super smooth and flat. Awesome. Alright, look at how much I got done. I'm almost to the last row now. And I did calculating in the beginning and I figured it was going to be 14.9 something boards wide. So that's why I started with a full piece. But usually what you want to do is measure your centers of each direction of the building and start from the middle, and that way you'll have an equal piece on each side. You don't want to start and then end up with, you know, a 1-inch, 2-inch little sliver biscuit on the end. That would look weird. So I'm just gonna have to trim this just a tad and get this last row installed. That's the trickiest row, I'd say. Just being able to get it in the groove. So I'm gonna do that, and then underneath the door here and underneath the door over there, I'm gonna put some piece of molding, like a quarter round or something, so that way it'll seal it off nice, and it's coming along great. Alright, so I laid my piece down, put it against there, and I marked out to the very edge of the tongue here, so that way once I cut it, I'll have that expansion room in the back. So I just made a mark. Grab another piece of flooring, make a straight line down there, and we're gonna cut it. Okay, got the first piece down. Left, you know, about a 1/4 inch of spacing for my expansion room. That was the easy one. Now the second piece and onward is going to be the hard one because you got the 2 channels you have to lock in. So just push it against the wall, and I'm going to do the same thing on the rest of it, and we're going to see how easy we can get this piece in. Actually, I got this piece in quite easily. I'll show you how I do it on the next piece. Okay, so for this piece, what I'm going to do is get this junk out of here and put my board in like this. Hard doing it one hand. You put this end in first is what I found to be easy. Lay it down so that's where it's supposed to be. You lift it up from the corner of your board like this. Get it in the channel all the way down, started, and then you'll just come in with your pry bar. And it's hard to do here, but I'll get you on a tripod. And so just lift it up like that. Jiggle, jiggle. I heard it. You can feel it. It'll drop like so. Feel your seams, nice and smooth and beautiful, and it pops right into place. So that's how I found it kind of easy to do your last row. Okay guys, struggled on that last piece just a little bit, but we got the whole floor done. Alright, so I decided just to go with quarter round. Dad's out here helping a little bit, and he's going to be cutting them. And over here, I'm doing a 45 cut, so the angle will be this way, so when you're walking in the door you won't see it. That's kind of what I did with my pine up here. And it'll seam together nice. So I'm going to get this nailed down. Looks nice. Nice. Make sure that your quarter round's down and tight against the wall like that. Beautiful. And then, I don't know, I'll do something across here. It looks really good, so I might just caulk it or something. I don't know. But other than that, I'm just going to clean this out now, sweep it, and then get some stuff in here, like the futon, the heater, and I got to get rid of this junk. Tools, all the other stuff I'm going to move out to the building. Got a lot of garbage I had in here I gotta throw away. So, you know, just clean up your clutter, guys. That's what I gotta do, because I got a lot of it. And then, I got, this furniture has the fuzz on the bottom, so it won't scratch my floors. But as you can see, like something like that tripod right there, you definitely can't put that on the floor. I might get a couple, like pads or something for furniture, and then the stairs I'll probably put something on the bottom of them so I don't scratch my floor in here. But check it out. Let me know what you guys think of this floor color and floor choice. I'll get this cleaned up and show you guys, get a better picture of it here. I just want to show you, this is the only waste I really had. It was about 4 inches per row, so that was nice. And then I'm gonna come back, be careful. I'm gonna get this the same color as the walls, use my poly, and then I'm gonna come over to the wood head with some wood filler and make it look awesome. Boy, look how fast I am. I wish I could clean the house as fast. No monkey business, guys. Okay, here it is. The finished look, all cleaned up. What do you guys think? I think it's a nice color. Now, obviously, I might have to cut my trim once I install my stairs back, but I have to stain them still. I'm just gonna get the important furniture in here for now, put my other stuff in my building, and then we have a few errands to run, so that's probably it for work on the day here, but I think it's a nice accomplishment, and I think it looks pretty good, so I'm happy with it. We'll see how it holds up in the long run. Yeah, so stay tuned. This was staining the building and installing the floor, so this is basically a video showing the entire inside done, practically, the shell. So now all I have to do is bring furniture in, bring appliances in, and just decorate it around a little bit. Obviously put the outlet covers on, hang some strip lights if that's what I want to do. And then I have more upcoming projects. I got more toys and stuff that I've already got here and ready to go. So stay tuned with this series of finishing off my tiny house. I hope you enjoyed. I want to know your opinion on my floor and the color and the pattern and all that. So leave a comment down in the comment box, and let me know if you have any ideas for this space in here with what I got to work with. It's kind of small, but you always have to make room. Let me know any suggestions or things you would do or change, and I'd like to hear your feedback. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day.